people like to try to classify, like, based off of age group, what books are for what people, but I'm a huge fan of any type of literature that takes you out of your element and allows you just to enjoy the pieces of you that are naturally joyful. And to me, that's like bringing it back to what you enjoyed as a child and all of that. So a lot of people like to classify this as like a youth or a middle grade book, but I feel like comics are for everyone. You know what I'm saying? The only time you worry about an age issue is when there's explicit material, and then you keep that from kids. But as adults, we are in this beautiful space where we can enjoy all types of comics. And honestly, Moon Girl ticked all the boxes for me. So I just love talking about it. This is usually one of the gateway comics that I use to introduce people into comics if they're like not sure, because I feel like this series gives people all of the little things that tend to pull people into being a comic fan. You got, like, even if you've never picked up a comic before, you got a bazillion cameos, you got that Saturday morning cartoon humor that everybody can appreciate. So yeah, this is my gateway introductory comic that I like to give, especially to young women or young girls, to get them started. But yeah, so this is my vibe. So I'd love to just be able to jump on into it. So who is Moon Girl? All right, I like to start off with stats. So this is my little steez that I go through. So we're dealing with a 9-year-old in the 4th grade, smartest human on this planet. Notice I said this planet. All right. Yeah. And here are her stats. So for strength, she's at a 1, which makes sense. She's a 9-year-old. For speed, she's at a 3. I mean, give or take, my girl's on skates for a lot of the time, so that makes sense. For her intelligence, she's at a 6. And I want people to bear in mind that this intelligence meter is based off of universes and the multiverse. So she may be the smartest person on Earth, human on Earth rather, but she's a couple points away from the highest potential for intelligence, but you got to give it to her because she's only 9. Fighting skill, she's at a 2. Again, she's only 9. Energy, she's at a 4. And then for durability, she's at a 2. So it's interesting to see how people tend to rank her fairly low, but with her sidekick, Devil Dinosaur, and her pre-planning, I feel like she has the capacity to like overcome any scenario. So don't sleep on Moon Girl. I know she's a little girl, but don't sleep on her at all. So I like to always point out when people want to come for Moon Girl that her super intelligence was something she had before she came into her power, so to speak. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the series, Moon Girl, also known as Lunella Louise Lafayette, my girl, she gets down. She is what's considered a new human. So she is an inhuman and human kind of combination. She's a new type, which makes her automatically considered a deserter to the Kree. And that's where all of the Inhumans came from. The Kree technology trying to make superhumans for their war, like a long, long time ago. And it's still included in people's genes currently. So part of where her powers came from is there's these Kree created clouds roaming around, and she's extremely afraid of encountering these clouds because it will take her into her Terrigenesis, which is pretty much you get encapsulated in this egg, and then when you come out, who knows what you'll come out as. So it's like terrifying to her because she doesn't know if this cloud catches up with her, who she will become on the other end of this. So she already has her super intelligence, and she's convinced that if she studies Kree technology, she can come up with some cure or some way to cure herself if she comes into contact with this cloud. However, amidst all of her adventures, she comes across it anyway, and luckily for her, she had Devil Dinosaur with her at the time anyway. So Devil Dinosaur takes her in her pod, keeps her safe for the couple of days that it takes her to transform. And when she comes out, she's still her normal self. She can't figure out what it is, and it turns out the powers that she has are that she can switch consciousness with Devil Dinosaur. So everything else about her remained the same. So she was kind of worried for nothing, but it worked out because her interest in Kree technology is what introduces all of her shenanigans in her story. So that's my like small little introductory into who Moon Girl is as a person. As you can tell, this is like I've had this conversation several times, but that's my girl. But